Going live now. Hold on one second.
Yes, sir.
It looks like what computer are you using? Because it's not letting you. It's not allowing to record your browser. What browser are you using?
I'm using Chrome.
Join the studio from a different supported browser. Otherwise, join from the mobile app. How weird. Yeah, it's recording.
Okay, here's what we can do. Your audio, video are being recorded on your computer. Look for on people's portrait to verify they are recording too.
All right. So we're live there. Let's see.
If I need to jump onto my phone, I can. Yeah, I can if need be.
Either way is fine.
You let me know. If it's stopping us, we're not, it's not allowing us to go live because of my browser, then I'll switch over to my phone. Not a big deal. What do you think, Paul?
All right. Okay, so I'm trying to minimize the browser. So we're live already.
Okay. Okay.
But it's still not recording your portion.
Okay.
So maybe what you could do.
Yeah, I see that it's not. I see your red dot is working. But here's what we can do. I had a live going on IG. I'll kill that live. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my phone and see if that helps. So here's what I'll do. I'll leave this call, Paul, and I'll hop over to the
Okay. All right. So I just went live. I have a special guest today. His name is Tez, and forgive me if I mispronounce the last name, Arbertha. He's going to be talking about how he did 500 deals. Now, he is a licensed real estate agent. He's also an investor. He's also a real estate wholesaler that knows creative finance and traditional wholesaling, and he's a real estate coach. He just hopped off the live stream just temporarily because he's going to get back on either on his phone or using a different browser. So in the meantime, what we're doing is we're just sitting tight so that he could get on here. And then I'm going to do a quick interview, and he's going to cover the four things that he does and did and continues to do in order to generate business for himself as a real estate agent, a real estate investor, a wholesaler using creative finance and traditional wholesaling, and what he's been teaching his team as a real estate coach. So we're just waiting for him to hop back on. I'm excited for him to be on this live stream because he's going to be covering some great information. And I think he just got back on. We back on, Tez?
Yes, sir. I'm good to go.
Now it looks like we're on, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got the red dot up in my corner now. Yep.
Perfect. All right. So for those of you who have seen some of the videos that I've done in the past, one of the things that I like to do just to give the algorithm an opportunity to pick up steam is for me to ask a series of questions that I borrowed from the book Tools of the Titans. Okay. So there's a series of questions that I'm going to be asking Tez. And Tez, do I pronounce it Arbertha?
Arbertha.
Arbertha. See,
yeah.
The R. I was gonna be like Arbertha. That's just the Latino in me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So let's go over those questions. And then that should give everybody enough time to hop on the live stream. If you can hear me okay, please give me a real quick thumbs up or just a quick comment. I can hear you fine. If you have any questions that you want me to ask Tez, as well, so that way I can make sure that I ask him after we cover the content and cover what it is that he's going to cover. So today my main goal is to cover those four things, the four key strategies that you use in order to get all that business, because you've done phenomenally well. So let's start with these questions. They're real simple questions. Tez, first question: what are 1 to 3 books that you give out that have impacted either your personal life or your business life?
Man, you've heard of this book 1,000 times. Most real estate investors go straight to it as it's kind of like the real estate Bible, real estate investor Bible, and it's Rich Dad Poor Dad. That book right there changed my life, changed my perspective, opened my mind up from being a worker bee to understanding how money works and all that stuff, right? Another book is going to be a nugget that a lot of people is really an oversight for a lot of people, and it's actually an author who's from Southern California, and his name is Jeff Shore, and he wrote a book called the 4-2 Formula. The 4-2 Formula, and it's a book. When you first open it up, it's tailored towards new home buyers, how to get new home buyers off the fence, right? How to get them off the fence, but dude, it helps so much in building interpersonal skills for so many people, regardless if you're, trying to help a seller or you're trying to help a buyer. Either way, that book is amazing. And then the third one is going to be Never Split the Difference.
Yeah, that's a great one.
So those are my three.
Great. And if you see me, I'm not listening. I'm just taking notes.
All right, good, brother.
All right. So what purchase of $100 or less, right, has made an impact on, again, and everything I ask is going to be in your personal life or in your business life. So $100 or less that you not live without anymore, and it's impacted your business or your personal life.
Man, that is a really good question. $100 or less. Man, honestly, it would have to be one of those books.
Okay.
Honestly, I would have to go back to one of those books, and the number one will be Rich Dad Poor Dad. It changed my life, man. It helped me in so many ways. So I have to go back to that book.
Okay, now I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit. So, what about real estate tools? There's a lot of real estate tools. People use Batch, people use Privy, people use Launch Control. So some of those are under about $100 a month. Is there anyone that you in particular use every single day?
I love it, man. I love that question. So I use in my business, the number one tool that has helped me so much and has been continuously helped me is my CRM.
Okay.
Now, everybody say the CRM that you use, they are the best CRM is the one you use, because a lot of people have all these different CRMs. And, I'll tell you, my CRM that I use is Podio, and Podio helps me tremendously stay on top of my leads, help my virtual assistant stay on top of the leads. We communicate. Podio has been a huge tool for my business, and I don't know what I would do without it.
All right, you got an affiliate code or affiliate link you want to give
out?
Podio? Okay.
I don't. Right. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, cool. All right. What failure? People get upset when I use the word failure, but quote failure, like unquote, right?
Yeah.
Has you gone through that has eventually led to the success?
Man, so here's a failure. I've never been fired from a job. Never been fired from a job. And back in 2019 was when I was let go from the highest paying job I've ever had. I was making 6 figures, and I was working in new home construction. I started out selling new real estate, new home real estate here in Oklahoma. And that year, my first year in new home real estate, I had a stellar year. I sold 55 properties. The following year, after a stellar year like that, the company decided to promote me to start educating and helping other new home salespeople. And man, it was awesome. I never thought that I would be there at the age 26 years old, hitting 200,000 more a year in a sales leader role, right? Selling new homes. It was awesome. But as I started to focus more on real estate investing and what that world had for me, that job didn't like it. Because again, I was a high paid employee, man, without a degree, right? So they want all your attention to be focused on their thing. And I completely understand it. Looking back as a business owner, I would have made the same call, right? But the call was tough for them to make. But dude, they chopped me. They fired me. Once they found out that I was investing in real estate, in 2019, they let me go. And since 2019, I have not worked for anybody. And that was my proof that I shouldn't work for anybody, because, a lot of us are in roles, man, I don't want to go too long, but a lot of us are in roles where there's an illusion of security, right?
Sure.
And the illusion of security just kept me in that job way longer than it should have. And it's honestly what happened. So they chopped me, man. They fired me. And now I am who I am today because of that.
So they caught wind that you were investing in real estate?
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. That's crazy. So
So Oklahoma is the only state in the U.S. where you don't need a real estate license in order to sell new home construction. So I did not.
Crazy. Okay, so you didn't have a real estate license. They just didn't like the fact that you were buying your own investment properties.
Yep. Conflict of interest.
Wow. Even if it wasn't even their.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. No.
That's crazy.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
All for the better. Yeah.
All for the better.
All right, man. Okay. Massive billboard. Let's say you had a massive billboard. Okay. And it's gotten millions of traffic and foot traffic every day. What's that billboard going to say? And where would you?
Oh, I love it, man. I'll put it right here in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And oh man, I guess it would say live life on purpose, man.
I love it.
Live life on purpose. If it had millions of views and it was my face, I would say live life on purpose. I wouldn't make it about business because obviously I could do that and talk about all the different businesses, things that I do. But hopefully, man, the younger me looks up and be like, okay, somebody here in our city has made a name for themselves and he's telling me to live life on purpose. You know, that's what mine would say.
Yeah, that's a great one. All right, that leads me to the next quote that you live by.
Oh man, keep going. That's literally tattooed across my leg. My grandma told me that growing up. Keep going is a big one. And I mean, dude, keep going is just an illustration that I use for so much in my life. I mean, that's the one I stand by. You know, every single caption, every hashtag, you see it. I'm always saying, keep going, dude. It's so many things, so many trials, so many ups and downs in life. But, you know, your story is a testimony. And if you don't make it on the other side of whatever it is you're going through, it's not only are you stopping yourself from experiencing just a new life, but you're also stopping the blessing of being there for somebody who's going to go through what you went through. You know what I mean? There's somebody counting on you and you don't even know who they are yet. You may think it's your kid. You may think it's your wife. You may think it's somebody that's counting on you to make it through whatever trial you're going through. So you have to keep going, man.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. I tell people all the time, you have to fight for your. You got to fight for it because there's people out there that, just like you said, they need to hear it. They need to hear it. They're waiting to hear it. They're starving for that story. And you're going to relate to them in ways that I couldn't. And there's going to be people that are going to relate to you. Others can't. And so, I tell people all the time. That was great. Okay. What is one of the best or most investments that you've made? Now, it can be an investment of money, time, energy. Let's just rephrase it. Where do you invest most? What's the brings you the highest ROI? Like, where are you investing most of your energy right now?
Right now, most of my energy is going to my coaching.
Okay.
My real estate investing coaching. I've still got my investment business. I've turned that into an acquisitions company where we still wholesale. We wholesale a lot, but most of it we're just acquiring real estate. But when it comes to adding virtual assistants and building a business and building the infrastructure and all the things that I need right now, all the tools, it's got to be my coaching business, man.
Got it.
That there has challenged me in a whole lot of ways, but it's also been a huge blessing to my business.
Yep. And in building the coaching business, it also brings the opportunity, because what's going to happen is, you know, and people don't realize this until later on as they become mentors, right? You have newer people that don't know really what they're doing, and so they anyway to walk them through those processes, and those present the opportunity newer mentees that are coming to you for help, right?
Dude,
by
Paul,
default.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. You know, if I'm sitting here thinking about hiring a new virtual assistant in my investment business, it doesn't make sense because that's marketing dollars I'm spending to get deals, right? But if I have an ecosystem of deals I'm already up over 113 coaching students. All these students are out hustling, looking for deals, ideally, right? And as I scale that thing to 500, it's going to be even more deals. So it takes my marketing costs in my investment business down, right? Because deals are just coming in. So no, dude, 100%, Paul, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. What is your, if you care to share it, what is one of your most unusual habits or absurd thing that you love?
Oh, man. Probably mixed martial arts.
Cool.
Yeah, man, I've done that for a while. I hurt myself and I probably should stop, but it gives me a sense of relief. And it really gives me a release of a lot of like, you know, pent up, you know, aggression, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's an outlet for me to where I can forget who I am in real life and how many people expect so much from me as a person, and I can just be in there doing my thing. You know, rather I'm getting beat up or getting the best of another guy, it allows me to really let out.
And as you get older, trust me, you're gonna need to keep doing it, right? That's probably one of the only thing that keeps me young.
Yeah,
is you got to keep hitting some type of physical activity. You got hitting the gym, man. You absolutely have to. I tell people this all the time because otherwise, you know, especially I don't know how old you are, but post 35, man, things start to change.
I'm 31.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Okay, last question. What is the advice that you would give a student? Or let's just say it doesn't have to be a college student, but somebody who is now just entering the workforce or somebody that wants to get into our profession. First bit of advice that you would give them.
I would tell them before you make the leap, spending the money to become a real estate agent, because it's expensive to be an agent. Okay, it takes time, it takes gas, MLS fees. If you do not know if you're a people person, or if you like people, or if you like houses, or if you can do this business, I urge anybody who's debating that to go get a sales job. Go get a sales job, and it could be at Verizon. It could be at, you know, selling phones at Verizon. It could be at a sneaker shop selling shoes. You need to learn how to find mutual purpose with people, right, over a product that you're wanting to sell them. And when you get the interpersonal skills to help people, and I know, again, it's just phones, you may be saying, dude, why wouldn't I just go straight to houses? Look, if you don't know if you're a people person or not, some of these companies, they have base pays that you can support yourself to at least make some money while you learn if it's for you or not. So I would urge a person to go get a sales position somewhere. I don't care where it's at. Just go get a sales position to identify how to build personal relationships with people, overcome objections, right, and find mutual purpose.
Great answer. It's very Grant Cardone-ish, right? Because it's one of those, like, you're selling something every single day. You're selling something.
Yep. Sell or be sold.
Yep. That's what it is. Right. You're either selling an idea, selling somebody on a product, selling somebody on your service, selling somebody on your point of view. Like, you're selling something every single day. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. Great answer. Okay, so it's I think we've given the algorithm enough time. I'm seeing some thumbs up, and I'm seeing some comments, so things are going good. So why don't we just dive right into it? Okay, now let's start from the beginning, because I know that you covered a lot of ground just in the questions that I talked about. We covered real estate agents, we covered wholesaling, we covered from the beginning. So did you start as a real estate agent first or as an investor first? Which one were you doing first? Because it sounds like, based on what we just talked about, you started investing first and then got your license, or was it the other way around?
Other way around.
Okay, cool.
Other way around. So I started out at Ralph Coleman, and I was just a sales rep. So I was pretty much like a person working at Verizon, just with new construction houses, right? Yeah. They paid me a percentage based on, the houses I sold, and I had a small salary. So it was like a realtor just having the training wheels on still, right? And while I was learning that, so I started out there, and right before I left, I got my real estate license.
Got it.
Because what I didn't know is, once I left this company, was I going to go out and be a realtor? Was I going to be? I didn't know anything about the investor world. That's what a lot of people who are in real estate, if they're just a real estate agent, you think you know everything about real estate, right? And let me tell you, there's a whole new world outside of a conventional loan, FHA loan, VA loan, or HUD 184 loan. I mean, it's in a completely different world. So I thought I knew so much, but when I started to learn more about investing, I got intimidated. So I was like, okay, I need my license to have something to fall back on. So I started out kind of doing my realtor thing, but quickly I jumped right into wholesale.
All right. So, and we're going to talk about that too, because the truth is, a lot of real estate agents really have, outside of the norm and outside of what the types of loans that you just described, they have no concept of what, other investors are using it to be able to get into properties. Now, when my parents were growing up, my parents were watching guys like Carlton Sheets, right? In fact, I remember them having the DVDs and the CDs. I don't know if that's too old for you guys, but like, we had DVDs and VHS players, and that was who we were watching doing the no money down things, which people are doing. It's just a different. If they had the internet back then, these guys would have been able to reach a much larger audience, right? Absolutely. They were using paid TV. But okay, so your first investment, talk about that one. What was it? How did you get it? And what type of financing did you use?
Absolutely. Good question. So I bought 2 properties at the same time. One was a duplex. The other was a house up in Edmond. I want to talk about the Edmond one. Edmond is like our Edmond's like our La Jolla of Oklahoma. It's our nice, like, prestige area where all the, all the rich people live, and but I got this house, and I bought it on a commercial loan, used a commercial loan, 0 money out of pocket, because I was able to wholesale the deal to myself, which, you kind of learn as you get into this world. That's one of the tricks to come into a deal with no money down. But it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and I lost $18,000 on that investment.
Wow. Okay. When you say commercial, we talking hard money?
No. I went to a straight up commercial loan.
Commercial lender. Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, there's a commercial.
They financed it, assuming that you were going to be non-owner occupied with a commercial loan.
Yep.
Was it zone commercial?
No. So there's commercial loans. Yeah. So there's commercial loans for investment properties. Okay. There's banks out there that do commercial loans on just investment properties. I see where you're going in terms of if it was zone resi and commercial, or or was it 5 units or more or something like that. No, it was a single family house commercial loan.
Huh. Crazy. Okay. All right. So that was your first one. How did you find that deal? Was it on the MLS, or did somebody bring it to you? Or
yeah, good question. So it was posted on Zillow, for sale by owner. We went out to it and locked it up.
Got it. Okay. And then that same time frame, you also picked up the duplex.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. What was the strategy for that one?
Commercial, same deal, commercial loan, closed on it, brought no money out of pocket, but ended up losing money on that deal as well. I was just overzealous, way aggressive, went in, made a bad investment. One more time, Paul.
What year was this? 19.
19.
So still 19. So the market's still doing this, right? We're still in an accelerating market in 19. Hold on. Sorry, this is a problem with working in the city. Okay, so the market is still accelerating. Did we pick it up too high, or when you wholesaled, or what ended up happening? Or was it the fees that ended up killing you on the commercial?
Really good question. So what happened on this commercial loan, I needed to refinance out, right? Right when COVID hit, my plan was to refi to a rate that made sense to me. So there was a third-party company doing commercial loans in Oklahoma. They still do them. And what they would do is they would partner you up with a private money guy, and they would make money in the middle. Well, the loan was so expensive. My interest rate was higher than where I needed it to be.
Sure.
And COVID hit, and I couldn't refi with, COVID hit, and banks got so strict on their LTV. So I was anticipating a 75 to 80% LTV, because that's what everybody was telling me. I was new. COVID banks were at 65% LTV. And this lender, dude, crap hit the fan. Everybody wanted their money back. Like, if you didn't have a lot of money going into 2020 as an investor, a private money guy, you wanted your money back. I mean, this guy was threatening to call the note due, even though we had 6 more months in our note. And he's like, hey, dude, tenants are not paying. That means you guys probably won't be able to pay. We're like, look, dude, we're going to figure it out. And anyway, long story short, man, he pressed on us, and we refied out just to get him his money back. And we lost money on both houses because the banks were stuck at 65% LTV.
Yeah. It's just, that's it. Just battle scars. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you did that. Then how did you turn that lesson into, because right around, when COVID kicked in, that's when the market started going bananas. So when did you, now I've done this, I can start investing. And then how did you transition to wholesaling?
Yeah, so wholesaling was what got me to being able to stomach a loss like that. Wholesale was my 9 to 5 money, is what I called it, right? Because in wholesale, it's transactional. It's straight up transactional. So I call it a 9 to 5. So if I'm not getting wholesale deals, I'm not making money. So wholesaling is actually the way we rolled our business out, being the first phase. So we rolled our business out in phases. Phase 1 was wholesale. Then fix and flip, then buy and hold, then commercial. And now I'm in that. Coaching is kind of in between me and commercial right now, but commercial is where I want to get to this year. But so wholesale was still going. We were still making money wholesaling, right? And that was the reason that we could bring $18,000 to the table to, to get him paid out and get that property refi. But we just picked up, man. I learned my lessons there, and I just told myself that lesson wouldn't stop me from investing more. I mean, I have to go. I've already invested too much. And the way that I saw it, Paul, is like, okay, that $18,000 is not my account. It's an equity. So I didn't feel like, oh, I lost money. It's like, I can sell this property, liquidate it, especially when COVID hit. That house appreciated a lot. And I was like, okay, I can do a cash out refi and get that 18K back now. But I didn't, right? But I just kept going, man. Just stayed aggressive and kept my head down and kept working.
Okay, so it's a different market now than it was back in 2021. 22 is when things started to. For the person that is now looking at this, who doesn't have much experience, they don't really know what they don't know yet, and they don't know what the prior markets were like. So I'm brand new. I'm in your coaching program. What would you tell somebody right now if they say, okay, I'm looking to get into wholesaling real estate? I've heard, that I can invest in real estate. I don't need money. I don't need credit. I don't need any of that. What should I be doing first? What day one, to hit the ground running, what do I do?
I'll tell a person fresh in my training, if you want to start wholesaling, just follow the script, follow out the layout that I've given you, because it works regardless of what market we're in. Now, what you're facing, at least here in Oklahoma, I would say in a lot of states, but a lot of sellers are realizing that the houses are sitting on the market longer. And in order for them to get what they need for their property, they're going to have to go through the 1, 2, 3, and that's listing the property, having people come see it and getting offers and going through TRR and all that good stuff. So what I need them to know is, like, now is a great time as an investor to wholesale, for one. But if you do want to be a buy and hold investor, this is a great time to do it as well. Because it's shifted aggressively. Like last year was my first year, or last 2 years, I would say, Paul, were my first years where I had to compete with anybody aside from just investors, right? Investors were my only competition.
Right.
And you fast forward to where people are settling to move into anything just to get a house. So now we're competing with retail buyers. And that had never happened. That was a wake up moment for me. It's like, okay, we're going to have to beat even retail buyers to the house, because they'll move in, fix the floor, fix the roof, because they just want a freaking house. Interest rates are so low. So that was eye opening. But now a lot of those buyers and even investors are scaled back. And this is the time to go full on. This is the time. Or you miss this window and it'll be crazy like it was the last 2 years.
Right.
So, I mean, it's either now or never.
So are they, would they be targeting, or would you suggest targeting on-market properties or off-market properties? And if you do suggest it, what are those more buy and hold, or those wholesale? What potentially they could be either one, I guess, right? But
either one. I would tell them.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say, but you're coaching them to go, let's say on market, right? Are you teaching them to do that, or are they going after off market stuff?
I'm telling them to go off.
All right, so let's just stick to that. So they're going off market. Are they purchasing lists, or are they skip tracing? So walk. I know this. You and I, second nature to it. But for the people that are watching this and interested in your coaching program, like, what are the things? We're giving you some free nuggets here, like free nuggets that are worth tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. So brand new, what lists are they calling? How do they get those lists? And then you have a script. Maybe you'd be willing to share what that script sounds like. And then I guess at that point, what would they do next?
Absolutely, Paul. So if I miss any component of that question, you let me know. So first, I want these people to focus on off market. And the reason why I teach my students to focus on off market is because by the time a deal makes it to the market, you've got way too much competition, especially as a newbie. Okay. If a realtor's listening, a realtor's going to have their middle finger up to anybody that does not have a proof of funds, a pre-approval letter, a bona fide offer. Okay. And they're going to treat you like that. And if you come in saying the wrong stuff, and you're going to get shut down immediately. Now, the flip side to that also is that seller's prepared to pay a buying agent, and they're also prepared to pay their listing agent. What does that mean? That means that price is already inflated by 6% over in terms of an asking price. And if anybody can make it work, it's probably that cash buyer who's already reached out. Okay. Now, can you get a deal off the envelope? Yes. You need to be day one, though. You need to be making an offer on day one that it gets listed and gets posted, because more than likely you're going to miss it. Okay. That's the reason I tell my people to focus off market, because we like to be the people in the position to where we initiate that thought. Maybe not the thought, but we act on that first thought of selling it. It's like something just changed in their life. Husband just said, you know what, I want to get a divorce. Boom, they get a text message from us. Hey, have you thought about selling your house? We want to be in that position because that's the power position. Okay. You know, I tell my students all the time, make no mistake, buyers only deal with you because they have to. If they could go straight to that seller and not pay 10K, they would. You know, so that's what you have to understand. So the power position to be is right there, but next to the seller, getting that deal under contract. Okay. Right. And the way that we do that is numbers of ways. You know, you can partner up with the realtors. Real estate agents walk into crappy houses if they don't want to list. You know, they get deals. I had one that I'm going to post, or I've already posted to my Instagram. A young lady who's a realtor. She had a friend of hers from, her kids' basketball league. Long story short, they were in a foreclosure situation. Their dad had a property. He passed away. He didn't tell them how far behind he was on everything. And out of nowhere, they got the property, went through probate. By the time they got through probate, they were like, hey, you're the new owner. We're going to be foreclosing on this property in the next month. You can catch up all the back payments. And it was in such crap condition. They didn't let her know until a week and a half after getting that notice. So now we're at, 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks to get this deal closed.
Wow.
It had to be somebody paying cash. It had to be an investor.
Yeah. So did you guys turn that into a short sale, or what did you guys do?
No. So they had, I just bought it. I bought it cash.
Okay.
Bought it cash. Bank was good with it.
Good on you. And so how much were in default for though, right? Because I guess there was enough equity though. So it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't that they were upside down. They were just in foreclosure. That you paid was enough to cover the amount that they were behind, yep. and then still provide room for you to make the spread. Are you guys keeping that one, or are you wholesaling that one?
So that one there, I flipped out.
Cool.
I did a wholesale. What I did was, it's crazy, Paul. Here's what I did. I closed on this thing at $46,000. I know, Oklahoma prices. I closed on this thing at $46,000.
Which I love. I absolutely love it because just so you know, you guys I've seen the numbers and I've seen what you've been doing. And you guys, there are times where you guys are making spreads on properties that are significantly less expensive than California. But people think because it's California, it's more glamorous. When the reality is you can do the exact same thing in a market like Oklahoma and still make more than some of the agents and some of the investors here in Cali. And people don't realize this. Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that, Paul, to be honest with you, because they see a higher purchase price, so they see a nice home. And this is just, mostly people who are not in real estate. But you look at a market like Oklahoma, this property is worth $120,000 completely fixed up. Wow. I bought it at $46,000. Okay. And then I did what's called a wholesale, where all I did was put like $5,000 into it to get it completely cleaned out. And that means just all the junk, roof was still shot, it still needed all this work. But somebody bought it from me at $90,000 on the market, because I'm a listing agent. I do have my license.
Right. Yeah, you're an agent too.
Yeah, so I listed the property, and I listed it for $90K. They still have $30,000 in equity or whatever they want to do with it, and I sold it. I mean, I bought it at 46, sold it at 90, did no work to it. I mean, a little work to it, right? 5K, and bye bad baby.
That was brought to you by an agent.
Yes, that was brought to me.
An agent brought that opportunity. Yes. How was she compensated, or he compensated? How were they?
She was compensated by way of a referral fee. Since I am licensed, I can just pay her a referral fee.
Okay, so they got a referral fee. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But
back to it. Perfect story.
So you can find deals from realtors. So let's get back. So we focus on off market, but another way to do it, Paul, you talked about it, is just finding motivated seller lists, putting these lists together based on your formula, whatever area you like. Throw filters in there for overall estimated values, things like that. I show them how to skip trace and how to build lists out, and then you skip trace with a software, get all the information, have a VA call it, or you can call it. Send text messages, right? Do what you have to do to get in contact with the seller. But I go over all that stuff. But yeah, we focus off market, get lists, skip trace, and then the same old song and dance. VA call it, send send text messages, things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, all right. So for those of you who are listening to this, like you're literally getting free coaching right now. Okay, now there's much more higher level stuff, and you could reach out to Tez, or you could reach out to me, and I'll put you in contact with him, and that way you can learn a little bit more of those things. Okay, so let's talk about fix and flip right now then. So the wholesale opportunities, I would assume they all give you the opportunity to pick which ones you want. You can cherry pick your fix and flips from those that come through. What margins are you looking for, or formula? Let's talk about the formula. What formula are you using right now? Are you doing like 60%, 70% ARV minus repairs as a flipper, not as a wholesaler, but as a flipper? What are your numbers?
So that's very, very interesting, Paul. And I know you do this game, man. You definitely are an investor, because that's exactly what it is. Wholesale funnels the rest of my business. So many people, I don't want to be a wholesaler. It's crappy. I just want to be a buy and hold investor. Well, you're not going to be a better buy and hold investor than a wholesaler. It's not going to happen. You know, it's just not going to happen. He's the one finding the deal. Now you got to buy it from him, which takes 10 to 15 to 30K out of your equity position, which is also your net worth. So, Paul, I just got to compliment you on that, because you definitely, you know the game.
We're cut from the same cloth, man.
I love it, man. I love it. So yeah, man. So right now on fix and flips, I'm going 75 all in.
Really?
But here's the kicker, though, Paul. Here's the kicker. Here in Oklahoma, I'm watching market trends, and I have been for the last 4 to 6 months. And the biggest thing with our market trends here is properties that are sitting on the market are houses that are above $180,000.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm not buying any property where I have to justify my offer price by an ARV that's 180 or that's 185, because I want to be able to list it on the market for 180, worst case, and sell it and make 25 to 30K.
Got it.
Gross. Net, probably somewhere around 20. TRRs are crazy right now because buyers are so picky, and you get it.
Especially the retail side. On the retail side now, it's like if it's not up to standards, then why would they want to buy it right now? I think, and that's the problem with a lot of flippers, is before you can get by just putting some lipstick on a pig and it was going to work. You can't do that anymore. If it's not a real flipped home, you're going to have a tough time selling it these days. It's just not going to work.
That's very true, man. That's very true. Okay, cool.
So if people come across opportunities, right? And this is for the viewers. Are you only buying in OKC, or where else are you buying?
OKC, and I'll also buy in Texas.
Okay, so OKC, what cities in Texas?
Dallas.
I
do Fort Worth. I really want North Texas because that's close. So Dallas and Fort Worth, and Dallas is huge. You got Addison, you got Mansfield, you got all those different cities around Dallas. So Dallas, surrounding cities, and Fort Worth as well.
Cool. So for those of you who are listening, if you do come across opportunities and you think it's a good fix and flip opportunity, bring it to me first. I'm giving the opportunity now. You've got somebody who's purchasing in OKC and in Dallas, Fort Worth, North Texas. You know, you can bring the fix and flipper. For those of you who come across those type of deals, right? Both of us, we're always looking for stuff like that, right? So, okay, cool. So that's your flip. All right, let's talk a little bit about your coaching, right? 115. Did I lose you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for whatever reason, your camera just shut off.
No, I'm with you.
I hear you. I just don't see you.
We good? Back now?
No, it's weird.
I had a call coming in. I just put it in on the end. You
might have to do what we did last time, where you log off and then you log back in using the link. I think that.
Okay.
All right. So I only have him for about 10 more minutes. So during those 10 minutes, we're going to talk a little bit about his coaching and a little bit about what his Tez is doing. But, you know, he's given us some phenomenal information that you can put into play right now. You know, he did talk a little bit about skip tracing lists and where to buy lists. And I did talk about some of the companies that go out there and do it. Forgive me. I got a ambulance and a fire truck passing. So you've got we're back. Good. Okay, cool. Let's talk a little bit about the coaching. I know that you're doing what you got about 120 students or something like that. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Earlier? So I'm up to 113 students now.
That is amazing, man. That is amazing. And I have to pat you on the back for that.
Thanks, bro.
13 people that are being mentored by you, and you guys, and for all of you who are one of his mentees, like, you have a phenomenal teacher, an energetic, well-spoken teacher, by the way, and he's doing some big things. So kudos to you guys.
Thanks,
so what does the program consist of? Where can they get more information on it? And What do you think the turnaround is? Not lie. Look, that's a loaded question, right? Because somebody who comes in and they're just grinding, they can have success within 24 to 48 hours, right?
Yep.
But like, and I've seen you share some of those stories, and I've seen you share some of the success stories. So maybe you could talk a little bit about one of your most recent success stories that you just shared on Instagram.
Absolutely, man. I just shared one today. My guy named Robert. Robert's here in Oklahoma, man, and he hit the ground running. I mean, trial and error, bumping his head, getting it going, and he just had great energy. So I started coaching back in October, and Robert was one of the first people who signed up for the coaching. And just from the very start, his energy was high. He was on every single call because I go live with my students every week. Regardless, I'm always trying to help these people grow. So anyway, Robert's been logged or tapped in the entire time, and he just closed on his first deal today. This deal, he got under contract for $36,000.
Wow.
No, 32. I offered him 46, so he could have made 14K, and he said no. He said no to the 14K spread, and this is his first deal. He decided, he's like, I took your advice. I just started asking people if they had money. So he found a private money lender. He's going to loan him the money. The property's worth $150,000. He got it at 32. And
ARV though. That's ARV.
ARV
right?
is 150.
Okay.
ARV is 150. He got it at 32. It probably needs about 30 in work. I mean, he's going to make some good money. And he just decided to close on it, and he closed today, and it brought a tear to my eye because I know how hard that dude's been hustling, man.
So he closed on it with a private money lender, and then he's selling it to you?
No, he's going to flip it out.
Oh, you guys are going to flip it together. You guys are going
to. No, he's going to flip it.
He's going to do it. Wow.
I offered him the 14K spread for me to be his buyer, just to buy it from him, because I was going to do the fix and flip on it. And he was like, nah, I'll do it myself.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how did he get that lead? What did he call? And let's just talk about the lead. Where was the lead from? Yeah. And what strategy did he use?
All he knew how to do was talk to the seller based on the information I've given him. He found this lead on Facebook. This lead popped up on a Facebook group, and all the other investors thought that this person was a wholesaler, but he didn't. So he called them, and he locked the deal up. Same night, he drove all the way to a city called Lawton, which is like an hour and a half out of Oklahoma City. He drove all the way out there, locked the deal up, and he called me like, coach, because they called me Coach Tez. So he just, hey, man, I got this deal. And, I mean, nobody's more deserving than Robert, man. I mean, he's been working his freaking face off. He really has. So
and listen, he drove an hour and a half out there, knowing that there was always a possibility that he may not get that contract. And I might be stretching it here, but chances are he may have done that already. Maybe not necessarily in real estate, but for other opportunities. Because I hear stories about people who get and it wasn't like they did that 1.5 hour drive that one time and then they locked it up, right? It's like you hear about them. They did this 2, 3, 4 times where they would drive to somebody's house and then the person wouldn't even show up. The person wouldn't even be there, right? So let's give him a round of applause, man, because
man.
I know that behind the scenes he was doing a lot of work, and then that driving out there an extra hour and a half is exemplary of of his commitment to making this thing work, man.
Yeah, man. He's fell on his face a few times. He deserved this one because he had one where he went in and he goofed up. It's one of the things where you're talking to a motivated seller. You want to be as transparent and honest as possible. And they ask you, what are you going to do with this deal? Or, are you the buyer? And the truth is always yes, because I teach them to double close on these deals, Paul. You double close, you're the buyer. No, nothing else to talk about because you closed on it, you take ownership, you sell it. So a lot of people don't know the difference between double close and assignment. But he told her, he goes, yeah, I am a wholesaler. And she never called him back again. And it cost him $20 grand. I told him, I said, dude, I would have locked that deal up with you at this price.
Yeah.
I said, you got to go back out there. You got to go get it. And he was like, it's 20 grand, dude. I go knock on her door. So we went to knock on her door. Nothing. She's like, she finally talked to him and told him, hey, I decided to sell to someone else because you told me you weren't a buyer. So he's had his lessons, his heartaches. He deserves this one, man. He deserves this one.
And the double close, you guys, again, just assuming that you're brand new and you're listening to this for the first time, is you actually closing on the transaction. And if you don't have the money, then you find a private money lender. And if you don't know what that is, you can talk to Tez about that. You can talk to me about that. But the reality is that when you close on it, you actually close a transaction, it records, and then it builds your resume too. Because later on, you can go back and you can reference those closings. If you ever do want to go out and do fix and flips, hard money lenders or private money lenders are going to look for other properties that you've done that too. So
1,000%. 1,000%.
All right. So it's 11:20. Let me see. Was there anything else? I know that you started talking about commercial.
Yeah.
And I at the beginning of this video, I said that we were going to go into the 4 things that you're doing right now that are helping you do the volume that you're doing. What do you got cooking in commercial?
Man, nothing right now, dude. I am a baby. Okay. I am a baby in commercial. I'm literally just trying to get the edge. I'm reading books, man. I got a book right here by Mr. Mark Ferguson, which is amazing, that I'm reading on commercial. And dude, I mean, this is really as far as I've gotten in commercial. I made a few offers on some commercial deals. Didn't work out, but I'm going to get one locked up by the end of
this year. We'll revisit this about 6 to 8 months from now. We'll have a different conversation. Okay. So are you guys doing any type of SMS blasts? Are you guys text message marketing?
Yep.
What product are you guys using to do that?
So, man, it's a number of them. Batch Leads is a good one. I coach my students on Batch. Batch is one where you can send those text messages out, blast them out. Launch Control is another one that sends out lots of text messages. And dude, it really helps, having those 2 platforms. I
switched, having a lot of challenges with Twilio. A lot of challenges personally. And this is after creating 3 independent brands and 3 different corporations and 3 different websites and 3 different EIN. We did all of that, and it was still creating for me. So I just recently switched over to Launch Control myself.
Launch Control is a good one.
Yeah, I really, really like this service. Okay. All right. Well, listen, why don't you give the website for your coaching, so that way if anybody is interested, they can take a look at it and they can reach out to you?
Absolutely, man. So it is teztheflippingcoach.com. That's it.
All right.
teztheflippingcoach.com.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate your energy. I appreciate you just giving, having that giving mentality, man, and just sharing how everything works. I think, you paying it forward like that makes a huge difference to everybody out there. So I will send you the raw videos, the raw data of these videos, so that way you could use it too for social media and for some of your content. I'm going to check real quick just to see the live videos. Last time I did it though, I was getting some distortion feedback, so I may not. I just want to see if any of the comments are coming in the questions that they might want to ask.
Yeah, for sure.
2 comments. Nothing on YouTube right now. Okay. All right. Well, Tez, I appreciate you doing this for me. I appreciate you doing it for the audience. I think it's gonna pay dividends for all the people that are thinking into this business, becoming an investor and a wholesaler and a flipper. All right.
Yes, sir. See you, Paul.
Take care.
See you, brother.